in reserve in case of emergencies. They're doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's capital requirements, too big to fail. Let's make sure that the banks are safe and not going to fall apart and destroy the economy again.
Does this hit bank profits, Todd Horwitz?
I think that bank profits are going to be hit by a number of reasons, and one is they're not lending out enough money, so they're really not making enough money. And by holding too much reserves and by not being able to lend that out, they're not creating more, so they're not creating more income, which is going to, I think, eventually hurt them dramatically. And instead of being too big to fail, they're going to not be making enough money, and they're going to start to fail again.
They are also under constant political attack, and that is a fact. Student debt surpassed $1 trillion 4 years ago. Still growing, $1.3 trillion now. Mike Murphy, a political question. Is that going to be the basis of a new bailout? Mike Murphy, that's you?
It may. But you know, here's the thing. People, I wanted to make sure I answered it correctly because I don't want to sound political in the answer. So, yes, it's a big risk. But here's the thing. People are talking about, is this 2008 all over again? And I'll say no. 2008, I believe, is a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence.
No, but this is a fat new entitlement state for student loan debt, right?
Yes, and that's...
So will it be a federal bailout? And here's the thing. They're missing the mark. They're asking the U.S. government to do something when it's the universities and the fat cat academics who are gouging middle-class families.
And that goes to the banks also.
Hey, Todd, come on in. I hear you. Todd?
Sorry, Mike.
I mean, this is... Between auto loan and student loan debt, we're bigger than the housing bubble. Why is this not the same thing? We think that the money's just going to go away, or are we going to print our way back out again because it's going to be too big to fail? This is exactly the same thing. Whether or not we have the same reaction to it is a different story, but the overall debt, this debt servicing is way bigger than it was in 2008. It's bigger than the housing bubble. How are these people going to ever pay that debt back?
Okay,
we get a job.
Get a job.
Okay. What's the proportion of student debt that's in default? Not default, but delinquent. It's a huge proportion, isn't it? Something like
it is.
Anywhere from
25
or third.
It's a huge proportion.
25% at least.
That's why we use the word bailout.
Yeah.
You don't want to get political. I understand it. Check that big board. We are 10 minutes in, and we're up 31 points. 18,008. Lots of big names.